Hello and what is up guys, Rye here and welcome back to some more automation and BeamNG.Drive. Today we are creating our very own supercar, but not just any supercar of course. We are creating a supercar just with a 3-cylinder engine. This is not going to be an ordinary supercar guys. We are basing this off of a Lotus, I think the Lotus Elise body. So a very small body, it's going to be very lightweight. It's not going to have a ton of power because we're sticking to probably a 1-liter 3-cylinder engine. Make it as lightweight as possible, see if this thing can be comparable to, let's say, a modern Lotus Evora 400 GT, I think is what Lotus makes. I don't know, or something similar to comparable to that. So maybe like an Audi R8 or something that is quite sporty, maybe a Porsche. Who knows? First things first, of course, there is going to be a budget on this thing, but not, it's not going to be limited too small. Probably around the $400,000 mark. So this is a top-end supercar, similar to a Lamborghini Aventador or a Huracan Performante or something like that. Monocoque carbon fiber, of course, all carbon fiber, I don't know, carbon fiber chassis, mid-mounted. We can go for a rear. I kind of want to do mid just because it's going to be a more balanced vehicle. Rear gets a little bit tail happy, I feel like. A push rod. This is a supercar after all. This is going to be a top-end supercar, inline 3-cylinder. We're going to go for just aluminum. We're trying to save some money, of course, on this vehicle. 5 valve per cylinder because you need a 15 valve engine. Everyone needs a 15 valve engine, to be honest. We're gonna actually make the stroke a little bit bigger. I want this thing to have a big bore because it's going to rev to 12,000 RPM. Of course it does. But also it's going to make some torque. 1,000 cc's on the nose. Full forged because why not? It's going to be a turbocharged ball bearing. We'll do a race tune, but I'll change that up shortly. This thing is not going to have a great power curve. Because it's going to be so much revs. And yeah, we're going to try to make a lot of power if we can make it. Injection, direct injection per cylinder. Performance, not right. This is not a race car. This is a supercar. Still on street gas. Performance intake. I don't know if we need a bypass valve. We're going to go high flow. No first muffler and a secondary muffler straight through. So right now it makes peak power at peak RPM of 5,800. We'll bring it to 12,000. One thing we will need for sure is probably like a plus 10. I think we'll need more, probably even plus. No, 10's probably fine. A quality on the top end of the engine here because yeah, it doesn't run. Need a lot of valve flow, which is not a good thing, obviously. Now it doesn't run that great either. With it is over the rev limit, so I think we made the stroke a little bit too big. We'll change that in a second here. Lower the ignition timing down to nothing because who needs ignition timing? And the cam profile can go down to 9:1 compression ratio. 190 horsepower is not bad. We are going to make the engine a bit bigger or a bit smaller of a stroke and a bigger bore just so we can get the 12,000 even. Distance can take that, that's good. So now we're at just there, 1,000 cc's yet again. Beautiful engine, 190 horsepower, makes peak power at 8,200, but it revs all the way to 12,000. Why do I rev to 12,000, you might be asking? Well, it's because it sounds gosh darn cool. Cool vehicle, okay? It's got to have something going for it. If it can't have anything really going for it, it's got to have something. Oh, we can increase the intercooler, get 2 more horsepower to that. 17.5% efficiency, which is not terrible. Do we need bypass valves? Oh, we can use those. Okay, we can make use of those in the engine. Ooh. A 3-inch exhaust for a 1-liter engine. Compressor is just sprinkled in there. We can increase the size of the compressor for sure. Now, torque, this thing is going to be pretty gutless. Although it's such a brutal power curve, it's hilarious. This car is not meant to be the most crazy realistic car ever, obviously. We'll change this to 13.5. We'll just increase the... we'll leave the ignition coming down for nothing for a second there. We'll increase the compression ratio. 9 to 5. 9.5 to 1, and then we'll increase the ignition timing just a little bit. There we go. We can get 250 horsepower, I'll be very happy. 250 horsepower, 165 torque, nice even numbers. Of course, you can always tune the engine better. I'm sure you guys can. I like to have even numbers because it's a pet peeve. So we were doing, I think this is the Evora body. It's only 189 inch, or 189. It's only 89 inches or 90 inches in the wheelbase, so a quite short body. I think we're gonna go just for the basic coupe body. No, not that one. That one's disgusting. That one's okay. That one looks the same, probably. Oh, no, there's a stripe. Oh, stripe or no stripe? 2 stripes. 3 stripes. Or more stripes. Oh, that's disgusting even more. Oh. My gosh. Weird. Oh, that's actually kind of interesting. There's no back window. That kind of looks actually cool. I kind of like that. That's just weird. Weird enough to almost work. That's a nice body. Please, just give me... Oh my god, there's so much choices. I just want a normal... I mean, like a target top is fine. There we go, just a normal coupe. Very, very small car, rear-wheel drive, obviously, dual clutch, 7-speed. I might go for a manual to save a little bit of weight, obviously. Weight is going to be a very important thing for this vehicle. Sports compound, we don't need semi-slicks. I'll change the tire width at some point. Carbon fiber wheels, though, please. And carbon ceramics. This is more like a track weapon. So probably 2 pistons in the rear and 10 inches. I'm guessing is probably fine. 12-inch end is probably good. Fully clad cooling flaps. I do want this thing to get good miles per gallon if we can. Sports, no entertainment though, because it's, you know, it's gonna have at least 2 selling features. Okay, great performance and good gas mileage. That's the ideal supercar, obviously. Now, even though some of you guys might be saying, well, Ryan, you know, it can't be a supercar. It doesn't have a V8 engine or a V10 or V12 or what have you. Well, guys, you know, a supercar doesn't necessarily have to have a V8. It just has to be a very, very high performing car, which I think this is going to be a high performing car. Like so far. 0-60 in 3.5 with no tuning, weighs 1770 pounds. This thing is a very, very light, very, very fast car. Can go to 300 kilometers an hour. Oh, that sounds dire. Oh, that does not sound healthy at all. The engine's gonna just choke. We tune it for sport or race. We're gonna tune for sport and just lower it down a bit, nice and low, please. Tires are too tiny. We'll go 19-inch wheels, so big wheels. 18-inch wheels it is because 19 is too big, but big wheels. They almost look comically big still though. Nah, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So we are getting 0-60 in 3.4. If we don't all-wheel drive, can we get better? No, we couldn't. Yeah, I didn't think so. That effect, yeah, it's just the weight that's really factoring this thing in. Manual 3.7, like 1770 versus 1780. So like we're only shaving off, no, 1790. We're only shaving off 20 pounds. The sequential would be kind of cool though. I don't think we necessarily need it. We can use probably. Tires are needed. Okay, bigger tires are needed in the rear, I think. We're gonna get some slippage there. 315s are massive in the rear. I think wider front tires too. We're gonna lose top speed, but this thing's forte is not top speed, I don't think. Yeah, it's gonna be oversteer the whole time. What if we move the engine around, actually? We could probably change that. We can do, like... I mean, in reality, this thing could be a front engine... could be a front engine car. Wait, no, the suspension. I don't need leafs. I don't need coil springs. Let's lower it down here. Sport. Made it. Is this sacrilege for Lotus? It's sacrilege. It's beautiful though. You're gonna have worse weight distribution here. We're actually getting heavier weight, but on the plus side, we can do front wheel drive though. Do front wheel drive. But on the plus side, you're gonna get better. It's just, yeah, just I don't know. I don't think it's any better. I'm gonna go rear. We can save a bit of weight going rear. Oh, it doesn't fit rear. Okay. But we can go mid longitudinal or mid transverse. Doesn't actually matter at all. We'll go mid mounted longitudinal push rod suspension, please. Save just a bit of weight. 1,820 pounds is quite light. And we'll tune this just again here. Retune. I don't like to do too much suspension tuning in general though, but we can actually probably even go for like a race tune now. We'll go with a. Oh, look, utility tune. Nice. Look at that understeer there. Comfort. Ooh, more understeer. I like that understeer. That's just great. We'll sport tune it. We'll lower it down. I think we're going to stiffen sway bars just a bit. A little stiffer. So it's in between. Sports car and a race car. Let's see the, so 1.25 G's, 20 meter corner radius. 20 meter cornering radius. 1.5 degrees of roll angle, so it's pretty low on the roll angle. We've got no aero yet, so it's obviously going to affect our top speed. Our top speed is probably going to be, I'm guessing 240 is what I'm shooting for this thing. Like 0-60 and 3.5, I would say supercar top speed, supercar 0-60. You can lower to 3.4 inch short gears. We might do that though. But I think, look at that, 28 miles per gallon. Pretty piss poor stats in general. Good safety though. A lot of sportiness. Overall, I'm pretty happy with what this thing's going to turn out to be. What I'm going to do now is I think the engine's tuned well enough. It's not perfect, obviously, I know that, but I'm going to design the body and tune the rest of the things, the aero, the suspension, etc., to make this car handle better than what it is right now, because it's not that great. I love the back end, looks so great. So yeah, I'm going to do that. Sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so we are finally working on our 2020 supercar with just a 1-liter 3-cylinder engine. This thing has, I think, 250 horsepower and 165 torque, so it is basically a gutless vehicle by any standards. but this thing has one distinct advantage. It is going to be super lightweight. As you can tell here, I'm going with a pretty similar design to some of my past Veneta Verona vehicles. This is going to be a new model in their lineup. I want it to be similar but different, having the traditional Veneta Verona triple headlights, similar to, I think it was called maybe the Danzatori, I'm not too sure. Having a similar Audi-esque grille in the front here, just trying to figure out what kind of style I want the headlights to be. I want it to be different, of course, but similar, following the same design language as my other Veneta Veronas. I do end up on having the same headlights as my, I think it's called maybe it's called the Danzatori, a 2020 100 horsepower sports coupe I made earlier, a couple months back, I think, on the channel. A similar front end to that, a bit different, but quite similar, just focusing on adding grills and stuff, adding vents, making some bars. And I am trying to think of a name at this time when I'm designing the car, so you can see me going back and forth, like pausing for a brief second, just trying to figure out what I want to name this beast. This thing is crazy, 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. So I think I've finally finished on what kind of headlights I want for the vehicle. They are similar but different to my other cars. I'm just working on having some sort of running lights and things like that on the sides. Again, similar to my other Veneta Verona cars. Again, I finish off with having a light bar going down the side of the headlights, going all the way past the actual running lights, and down to the bar, adding the Veneta Verona symbol in the front. Just adding a few details here and there. So on the sides, I add the wheels. I start adding the taillights, adding the signature, pretty much black bar going across the whole thing, with a dual taillight instead of a single taillight, adding a big spoiler there, and then basically just adding some details in and around the car, choosing color. And I do end up deciding on having a light bar on top of the trunk lid, basically, and deciding on a different taillight system though. So instead of having like an actual, taillight sticking out of the car, these are going to be sort of recessed, basically a vent. I think it's a bit more modern looking, and this is a quite expensive car. At the end of the day, it's gonna be pretty expensive. Adding the bottom piece to the rear fascia, basically. Just trying to find a way to match to the other cars, adding some front hood scoop. This is a front engine, no, this is a mid-engine car, I think. This is a mid-engine car, but it looks pretty front engine car-esque. This very, very large front grille, adding a side vent now. I do have some bulges on the roof for helmets if you're driving a race car, basically. And so in front of us, finally, is the all-new Veneta Verona Ventilare Series 10. Okay guys, so as you could tell, obviously the car is done. I went with the name, I think Ventilare means pretty much, it's some deviation of what air means in Italian. I just Google air in Italian, and this is a word that looks that's similarly related to that, and it's similar. The reason why I went with air is because this car is pretty aerodynamic. It gets a whopping 27 miles per gallon, so that's pretty good. That's nothing to slouch at. Final cost is $248,000 automation dollars. Very, very, very aggressive looking front. You can see, like, this is a massive grille basically for the headlights. It's crazy. That's probably not aerodynamic, but it looks cool. So, points for that. Again, very similar to my other Veneta Verona cars. The side, Veneta Verona is quite understated on the side. They don't do much to the side. I probably could have done a bit more, maybe a vent or grille here, basically. But overall, I think it still looks. It's a very gorgeous mod body. I love it a lot. This is definitely a top favorite body here. The wheels, you can't actually get them to stick out all that far in the front, which kind of bugs me, but, there's nothing you can do. I'm not going to worry about it. It still looks good. The back is quite wild again. I have two circular style, I guess, taillights, pretty much flowing with this light bar that goes around the entire top and part of the bottom, similar to all my other Veneta Veronas. And a single weird, this is just a weird dual exhaust system that I have, like a dual tip system. Doesn't stick out that far, but it looks great. I love it. Very unique. It looks almost kind of dinky, but in a way, this is kind of a dinky little car. It is a 1 liter 3-cylinder engine. This is a smaller engine than my previous car, even, right? So, my Danzatori, I think is what it was called. No, I don't know what it's called. I made my sports coupe was not called the Danzatori. I don't think it's a 1.2 liter 4-cylinder with, I think the same horsepower actually, or no, 100 horsepower. This thing has got 250 horsepower. This thing's got over double the horsepower, and it does weigh less. This thing weighs 1775 pounds at the end of the day. So, very, very, very light car. Here's 63.3 seconds, keeping up in a 0 to 60, similar to a Lamborghini, things like that. If we actually went all-wheel drive, it'd be even slower. Because it doesn't need more grip. It just doesn't need more grip. But it's a good car. It wouldn't even make it much heavier. So we're gonna keep it rear-wheel drive because it's a true vehicle. I probably can go for a manual, but you know, I think we're only saving 20 pounds at the end of the day, and a dual clutch is much faster. And this is a track car, through and through, like every true Veneta Verona car. I really want to make a Veneta Verona, like a luxury GT four-door sedan at some point. That'll come at some point probably. Anything else? The car is a 1.5 degree roll angle, which is quite low. It is a super light car, so I expect that though. It's got massive tires. On paper, it looks like it's going to oversteer just a bit, which is fine. This is fine. It's probably not going to handle that great, but I never make my cars to handle truly well, because I could spend like literally an hour just tuning the suspension, but it's fine. It's going to handle good. I'm not too worried. The weight's going to help so much. So let's jump into BeamNG.Drive and see what the Ventilare can do. Okay, so we're here in BeamNG.Drive. This is the Hirochi Raceway short race track circuit. We're going to do 2 laps of this. And we're going to jump into another map probably and just do some cruising around and get a feel for the car. It's a bit of a glitch right there, but I'm not too worried. Overall, the car looks gosh darn awesome in BeamNG.Drive. I love the front end, super aggressive. It's honestly wild looking. You can't really see the light strip though all that well, but that's okay. The side, a little bit on the plain side. The rear though looks good. Looks wild actually. It looks like the vents sort of glitched in with the taillights, but that's okay. This engine, although it's a 3-cylinder and 1 liters and that, I think it sounds pretty good. Like, do you think someone would be able to tell this thing was, you know, 250 horsepower? I don't know. I mean, the BMW i3 is a 3-cylinder hybrid supercar in quotation, so, you know, why can't this be a supercar, right? We're gonna do this. And there's no power steering on this, so I did a couple things, obviously. I've had 0 seat time in this car at all, on this map, so, or on this track, I guess. I've got 0 seat time in this car at all, so not much. But so far, it's handled everything I could throw at it for sure. It's... The front gets a little bit swirly there. I think the front locks up just a bit in the brakes. Just a bit locking with the front. That's okay, though. Oh, the brake's so good though. It brakes just so good. Ooh, almost get it off there. I think 12,000 RPM is quite fitting for this car. It feels very nimble. Obviously, there's no body roll, and you could tell. There's no body roll. It's still planted. White wide tires grips pretty well. The first lap, a 1:15.066. And again, I have 0 seat time with this car at all. I literally just popped into BeamNG.Drive. If we can get a 1-minute lap, I'd be... Oh, I'm braking too hard. I'm braking too hard. And not downshifting up. This thing just revs and revs and revs. I'm not taking these turns properly at all. That's okay. There's so much revs. It revs for days. You can literally just like drop down several gears. I'd be shocked if you could not get a 1 second, under a 1 minute time with this car. I probably will not hit 1 minute, but ooh, getting a little squirrelier. Yeah. I think if I was a better driver, I think a 1 minute time on this track's totally doable. Top speed's not really there, but hey, a 2-minute 24-second several laps, so pretty good. Compared to some other cars that I have just lower than here, whatever they are. This car is the best, obviously. Spitfire Sport, a much smaller, slower vehicle, so you know, like quite a big lead there, and so on. So what we're gonna do is just jump into another map and just do some free roaming and just cruising around and just see what this thing can do on some different roads. Okay, so we're here on the, I think this is the West Coast map. This is just the highway portion of the map. We're just gonna go for a bit of a drive. Without traction control on, ESC is off, please. Yeah, first thing we're gonna do is just jump into a... Do this camera or do we want this camera? This camera's fine. Listen to her purr. I scream at 12,000 RPM, my gosh. Honestly, like, it doesn't sound half bad when you think, like, you know, when you're thinking this is a 3-cylinder. It sounds pretty good for a 3-cylinder. And you just hold it in 3rd. We're in 5th. We're in 5th gear. Holy cow! Oh my gosh! It's only 2 more gears after this. Oh, it's quite planted, but it's light, so it likes to get air. It likes to get air though. A little more downforce, will be good. But it's actually great to handle. Oh, it's so good. Quite neutral handling, it's not kicking out at all. Oh my god, there's the curb. There's a wall. Everything's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Nope, it's not fine. Doesn't drive straight. We're gonna restart. We're gonna place the car back down here. It does not drive fine at all. That was not great. I have 4 feedbacks. Like, what's happening? The gears are so short, but the short gears work for this car because it's got so much revs, but it's got no power. You know, there's no power through the revs at all. Oh, there's a fence. I cannot save that car with all my might. And this is what happens, kids, when you drive a 12,000 RPM. Oh, there's... Nope. We're good. Oh, nope, nope. Nope, nope. Come on, let me fix it. There we go. Nope. Come on, no. Just 2 hours later, SpongeBob meme pops up. Okay, the car's fine, totally fine. Does not work anymore, but it's fine. Engine started with oil, that's okay. This is a terrifying camera angle, wow. I don't even know where the road is. Oh god, there's the road. You can't see the road. Oh wow, this thing turns in quick. This is probably my best handling car that I've made ever. A little bit oversteer time, but it's good, it's fine. It's like it's skating for a second, but then it catches itself. It's times like this that where I really wish automation had like a in-cockpit view actually behind the glass of the car. That'd be just great. Yeah, brakes lock up just a bit though. They lock up a little bit too quickly there. A little bit too little pressure applying. But I did have to enlarge them so it looked better. That's the reason why. They are too powerful for the car, but that's okay. Oh boy. That was so sudden. Oh, that was so sudden. I love that. That was great. We're gonna turn here. Yeah, we got no power steering here, so it's gonna be a little bit. Like my force feedback just fighting me. You guys might hear that, just fighting me right now, which is fine. Okay, we're yielding. See, imagine like ripping through this like city right here, this town, like just in first gear. 6,000 RPM at 30 kilometers an hour. That's nothing. We're gonna go this way. So responsive though. It just builds those revs so quickly, I love it. There's no reciprocating mass in the engine, it's so small, it just likes to rev. I like that. But, like, it doesn't feel like there's a lack of torque, but it feels like there could be more, you know? Like, it's enough, but if there was like a 500 horsepower version with like a twin turbo V6 or something, or like a twin turbo, or even just, yeah, twin turbo V6 probably would be the next step up, or a twin turbo boxer maybe, then I think that'd be a wild contraption. Ooh, getting a bit of air there. .4 bars of pressure, which is a lot. Brake just a bit here, because there's a turn up ahead, apparently. Oh my god, this is some of the most fun I've ever had. I'm just not even talking, it's so much fun. Come on. I don't even know these roads at all. Like I don't drive this on this map too often. Oh boy, there's the grass. Oh, we're on 2 wheels. We're on 2 wheels. Oh my god. I almost bounced on a 2 wheels for a second. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was great. That was so great. That was so great. Oh, I can't even. That was just awesome. Did you guys see that? It was balancing 2 wheels for a second there. Wait, can it burn out? Can it burn out though? I don't think so. I mean, the brakes can't even stop the car when it's at full RPM though. No, I can't do a burnout. Almost though. So close. What if I just neutral drop it? Yeah, that brakes didn't even stop the car though. That's kind of sad. That's kind of weird. Just, I mean, it's spinning at 11,000 or 12,000 RPM, so yeah, it's understandable. It's gonna keep spinning, but you know, I think we've exhausted the car. We don't want to tire it out too much. Obviously, this is a freaking awesome car to drive. I mean, I'd say I'd like to make it like a stripped out race version of this with like plus 15 everything sliders and maybe like a twin turbo V6. So probably around the same weight, but like 500 horsepower. Like, because we only had some plus 5 sliders max. If we had like plus 15 everything, we could probably get a very, very fast car. So overall, definitely a very fun car to build. Very fun. The most fun I've ever had driving a car in BeamNG.Drive. Did that saying something? Because I've driven a lot of cars. So yeah, I think that's all for this one. We're gonna have another video in a couple days on the channel on Thursday probably. So stay tuned for that. And probably another BeamNG video, yeah. And then the live stream on Saturdays. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. And as always, I'll see you next time.